I saw footage that he was on the range late after his round, and he was hitting balls. Obviously, the sun's up super long in Northern Ireland at that time of year. So, he was grinding on the range, and I mean, who knows? Does he, he finds something in his sleep, and he goes to bed and tells himself, I'm going to play great tomorrow, wakes up and plays great. I mean, who knows? Welcome back to the Golf Asylum podcast. My name is Mike Martisevich.
Hello, Mike Martisevich.
Hello, Ian Fraser.
Welcome back to episode 10.
Episode 10. We're on a roll.
We are rolling. There was a slight chance that we record one podcast and never record again, but we've made it through 3 podcasts. That's pretty good. This is good going. There's, I think I mentioned this earlier on in the life of the podcast, but there's statistics about something like 90% of podcasts don't make it to a 4th episode. 3 is the number. So
I don't know if that's a good thing or
this could be a pivotal day. This is
nice knowing you, folks.
I know. But we're at episode 10. Yeah, I think we're in a nice little roll, nice little cadence.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties last week.
Apologies about the last one coming out at 3 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, the Open Championship weekend. It's,
sorry about that.
You're not going to watch us. You're going to be watching the Open.
Rightly so. But we're back in our midweek slot, Mike.
Yeah, we're going to get better at this.
How was your Open week?
Yeah, good. I mean, I was happy who won. Maybe some others in the room find that quite boring. But I thought Scotty Scheffler, played nice. I didn't see the final putt drop, but I couldn't.
Did you watch much of it the final day? I know, obviously, we played.
I watched him probably play the first 7-8 holes, and then we were playing golf.
It
was great. Oh, it was on in the cart technically.
Yeah.
I was happy. It was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously history in the making now.
Yeah.
That he's racking up multiples at different majors, which makes starting to make it a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could make it more interesting when he's picking off lone Masters here and obviously the things he's doing, but now he's chasing down history. I mean, the last 2 months have really changed things in terms of obviously what the trajectory, I guess 3 months is, but what he's going to do, because come Shinnecock next year, it's a really big deal now.
Yeah.
And all the Rory kind of hype goes on to him.
I mean, you have PGA, you have Spieth under the gun to win. I'd love to see it happen. I don't know if it will, but I'd love to see it happen. It's a lot of pressure going into US Open, especially Shinnecock. Again, never played it, not yet, but we know what it was like in 2018. It was hard and brutal, and
it is.
I don't think they'll make that same mistake on some of the greens that were just. I remember Phil stopped his putt, took a 2-stroke penalty just because he couldn't be arsed. I think. It's a lot of pressure.
I love Shinnecock is not my favourite golf course in the world to play. That sounds like a total snobby thing to say. I didn't love it. We had played National Golf Links the day before across the road, and that to me, it might be as pure golf gets. It's so fun, so fair.
Yeah.
The conditioning's off the charts. Shinnecock has a couple of holes, and obviously, you've got the Redan hole, and you've got all these other holes, and it's just they're honestly, it's not as good a golf course to play.
Yeah. I mean, it looks obviously special. The history behind it, I mean, it's cool.
It's built for being a big, tough golf course.
Yeah.
Whereas National is just you can't have more fun in a golf course.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I can't wait to have fun out there. One day.
It's the best.
We'll be the 2 guys in the logo.
Just having fun.
That
was good. It was good. What other storylines caught your attention from the week at the Open?
Lee Westwood's got my game, 40 on the front, 29 on the back. I have not shot 29 on the back before, but that was pretty good. Justin Rose, 2 shanks and shot 65, 66.
He had 8 birdies that day or something.
It's funny, the Open, you get, we'll use a regular golf course, for example, in North America.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see as much struggle like a U.S. Open or an Open Championship. Obviously, they want to make it hard, but you have crazy things like Rory hitting 2 balls out of the rough or hits his shot out of the rough and a ball pops up. The rough wasn't crazy hard at the Open. It's just that there's a lot of like collection areas.
Yeah.
You know, the 17th hole was 236 yards, or the 16th hole was 236 yards, and Scotty birdied it 3 days in a row.
I know.
And nuts.
I mean, it's just quality. That's all that is, because he's still hitting a driving iron in there.
Yeah.
You know, he's just an unbelievable golfer.
Insane. I think he said in a practice round he hit a 3-wood in there on like Tuesday. He was playing against Sam Burns, and he hit it to 30 feet. And he said Sam Burns hit a 3-wood into there to 8 feet, and he goes, I think he lost, like he said, $100 or something. Maybe they're playing 100 a hole. That's just quality golf.
That's all that is. It's all that is. Yeah, no, I think it was a good championship, but this is a little bit of kind of, we're going to get into this in a little bit, but it just lacked a little bit of drama. You know, like the drama was there for obviously Rory to win. It never got there. Like it was bubbling under the surface, but it just never. I think Scotty took it away from everyone.
And Rory just has to play better.
He 100% does.
There was I don't know if it was a joke tweet or a real tweet, but the guy was like, asked Rory in an interview, you know, what would he have to do tomorrow to beat, or what would he have to shoot to beat Scotty? And he's like, I'd actually have to physically shoot Scotty to win the event because he's just running away with it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, Hao Tong Lee, guy hasn't really done anything in the last, like small things. He's like maybe won an event here or there, but they said he's made $3 million in 5 years, and then if he was to win the Open, he would have made 3.1. He would have made the same amount of money in one day than he's made or a weekend that he's made in a year. It's cool to see some like weird names, even like we talked about on the golf course. Brian Harmon all of a sudden has a great day. Xander Schauffele, I mean, I think we can all admit, has had a crap year, and he's on the leaderboard. I think he's, so past champions always seem to like find it at the Open. It's interesting.
It's just major players, isn't it? Because like I saw the list of the aggregate score of everyone who's played all 16 rounds in the majors this year. Xander's one shot behind Rory.
Jeez.
And like you said, he's had a bad year and this and that, but
feels like he's done nothing.
In the majors, though, these guys are so good.
Yeah.
It's just quite incredible how the cream rises to the top. You know, and I know people want to include Jon Rahm, and he was my pick for the Open, so I'm not saying anything against Jon Rahm, but in major championship golf in the last few years, you've kind of got 4 players, in my opinion: Scotty, Rory, Bryson, Xander.
Yeah.
Those are the 4 guys. I mean, Xander and Bryson obviously duked it out at the PGA. Rory and Bryson did it the US Open. Scotty's had had himself in the mix. Like, those are the 4 guys that, we talked about it again about Rahm had a sniff at it with 9 holes to go at Quail, and then exploded in the back. But yeah, those are the 4 guys when it comes to major golf.
The new power foursome.
Yeah, kind of feels a bit like that.
I mean, if you were to say 40 years ago who was or 30 years ago who were the top 4, you would have had Tiger, Phil.
How long ago?
I don't know. Let's say 30 years ago.
30 years
1995.
Ago. John Daly won the Open that year. So you need to go a little later than that. So even if you said like 2000, you would have said Tiger, Phil, VJ, Ernie.
Ernie, yeah.
That would be probably your top 4.
Again, 4 amazing golfers.
Incredible. Incredible. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's this is the new dynasty of golfers, which I think kind of golf needs a little bit, because you had a run where JT was super dominant and Brooks was super dominant, and then it's kind of been like you get a random major win from someone, then people kind of like lose the interest. But if you get guys that are on a run battling it out, that's more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting. You know, I think these guys like JT and Brooks, they have the ability in very small windows to elevate themselves. Yeah. But they are as quickly back down the mountain as they got up to the top of the mountain. That's the problem. And I've always said Bryson's a bit like that. Bryson kind of wins in spurts, and then all of a sudden he's off again, and he's kind of like not good for 7 months. And then he's kind of back up again. And it's funny, he goes in waves like that.
I guess there's, these guys, especially someone like Bryson, knows exactly when he's, peak athletic ability, peak golf ability. Yeah. And he probably lets himself have those few months of like, I'm probably not going to win, but at least I can, you know, make a couple bucks and get it around. And he wants to peak 4 times a year, which is major championships.
In a small window now, April, May, June, July.
Correct. Which that needs to change.
It's on the list for today. We'll talk about that. There was a little bit of chatter through the week, Mikey boy, about links golf having a more prominent place on the tours. We obviously see with the Scottish Open, it's a co-sanctioned event, right? So it's a PGA Tour and DP World Tour event. How do you feel about there being the potential of, I would love to see Scotland, England, Ireland and Wales all having a links week, right? So obviously if say the Open's at St Andrews, you know, England will have a links event at, you know, West Lancs or one of the great kind of links courses in England. In Wales, you know, right, Royal Porthcawl, something like that has an event, you know, on the links. Ireland goes to, you know, one of the many, and they're talking about, you know, Portmarnock kind of joining the links rotation. Like, make that a bit of a potential feeder into the Open rota. How can you host a co-sanctioned DP World PGA Tour event and you've got the 4-week window of links?
I like it because you always see, I mean, especially in the equipment world, you see different wedges go in, different, you know, woods come out, irons go in. So on the equipment side, it's fun to see, but you're like, when you watch it, you can see them hit these different shots. You know, they're putting from, some guys putting from 20 yards because they got to get over some mounds where you don't need to flop it or, you know, use your sandwich, don't use your 60. I like it. I could watch 2 months of links golf.
I know. It would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Because, I mean, the big golf, Parkland, thick rough, like a Muirfield or a Quail, I mean, it's cool to see, don't get me wrong.
There's enough of it.
You get kind of sick and tired. I mean, a dogleg's a dogleg, and every Gil Hanse course is starting to look the same anyway. So, I don't know. I would switch it up. I would go Heathlands, you know, even, I mean, they're playing Sunningdale this week.
Get down to Sunningdale.
I will watch more senior golf this week. And I know a few members at Sunningdale, so it'd be cool to, like, see it, and they're actually there this week. I'll watch more senior golf this week than I will watch the rest of the year. And it's good golf.
Yeah, definitely. Bryson, let's chat about that. Bad first day, 78, 7 over, and then he plays the next 3 rounds and 16 under, something like that. I mean, it was quite incredible. You know, the turnaround from day to day.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, I saw footage that he was on the range late after his round, and he was hitting balls. Obviously, the sun's up super long in Northern Ireland at that time of year. So, you know, he was grinding on the range, and I mean, who knows? Does he, you know, he finds something in his sleep, and he goes to bed and tells himself, "I'm going to play great tomorrow," and wakes up and plays great. I mean, who knows? I mean, he's a great golfer. There's no question about it. He's crazy. But, you know, there was, you know, again, I saw a video of him hitting a shot at a rough, and I put myself into that, like, situation being like, I don't know if I'd advance the ball 50 yards. And he's hitting it 130 yards, and this divot's literally the size of this table, and you go, the boy's strong, he hits it hard, and he's a good player.
Like you said, he's kind of got that kind of steep, you know, downward action that's generally pretty good on the links. You know, you can kind of get trapping it and flighting it. And it seems like he's doing better with embracing. Like, did you see the one, he done a clip on social where he launched it at 0 degrees?
No, I didn't see
So he's off like an elevated tee box and he had this thing launching at 0 degrees. And like he's starting to like obviously play with his flight and start to kind of master his elevation because he clearly, again, as we'll go into in a second, has launch angle issues with his golf ball. He struggles to manage the peak height of his golf ball. But to our point about there being more links golf, Bryson is on this search for the perfect golf ball for him. Yet 1 week of links golf and he's already learning to flight his golf ball. That's the rounded education you get if you're playing all types of golf and you're not just stuck playing the Parkland type, the North American style golf courses, which, you know, I love that type of golf because the manicuring is off the charts. I really, really enjoy that. But I think, you know, in terms of being a well-rounded golfer, you need to have it all.
And I think you can also say, like, I mean, this has been said, Live Golf is not playing the hardest golf courses, and they're not set up very hard for these players. And I've heard players complaining, going, you need to give us a bit more of a challenge. Like, you know, Live Golf Hong Kong, that place to them is like a pitch and putt. I watched Bryson's 9 holes at that golf course, and he's driver wedge, driver wedge, driver wedge. He's super confident with the driver, so might as well do it.
Totally.
But you're like, if he goes and then plays Oakmont, that's 2,000 yards longer. It's not that, but now he's got driver 6-iron, and he hasn't played that hard of golf. That's a big adjustment. Now, that's up to them. They went to Live. That's, you know, that's the challenge. But, I don't know, play harder golf. It makes them a better golfer.
I think I think that's a good point, actually. I think the players on Live should have a stronger say about where they play.
100%. Because I think some of these venues, like where the first Live event was played at that London Golf Club or
Centurion, I think it was.
Yeah, Centurion. And I mean, if you look at it, for these guys, again, it's a pitch and putt. It was unreal. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to go play it. But you're like, it's not really like super challenging.
It's good. It's not like on that level, honestly. Like there's so many more golf courses. Like even the one they're at this week at JCB.
Oh, yeah.
Decent golf course. Decent, but I mean, I don't think it's where, you know, if you've got 14 events a year and you're going to, you know, a certain region for an event, I think the blueprint for Live is more of what they had at the Adelaide event. I think that was, you know, good golf course. You know, there's a whole event. You know, it's a proper, you know, staged event, and that's why it's the number 1 sport event. I think it was the number 1 sport event in Australia. I think somebody had said. Crazy. It was off the charts.
Beat a rugby match or a cricket game. That's insane.
I know that truly is insane for how popular those are out there. So so segueing to Bryson's golf ball then. He obviously talked last week a lot about he's trying to find a golf ball that launches a little bit lower, has more consistent spin with his wedges, and he literally feels like he is so ill-equipped with his golf ball that he needs to go make his own.
Yeah, I don't know who posted the video, but they showed the golf ball on the tee, and it was that Polera golf ball.
Yeah.
And so I was like looking it up, and they're talking about how, you know, it's the straightest golf ball in the industry. And I wish there was, you know, a YouTube channel that could review that golf ball, but there's not.
Me too.
But it's one of those where I'm like, you know, they're talking about, you know, our dimple pattern, our paint changes, you know, can reduce a slice, reduce a hook. And I mean, for Bryson, who's pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know, does that ball actually help him hit it straighter? But I don't know. Polera, I don't even know where they're made. I'd probably need to look into it.
I'd heard something about it being made in Spain. Now, don't quote me on that, but I'd heard he was trying, maybe he was trying it in Spain, because they were at Valderrama, obviously. Yeah. But I had heard something about that anyway, and he was trying to get a golf ball that kind of is more suited. To me, though, when you look at Bryson's speeds, he's no longer a 200-mile-an-hour ball speed guy. He's actually more like a 185 ball speed guy again. Why, Rory doesn't need TaylorMade to go out and make him a new golf ball. Why is it, you know, Bryson needs all of a sudden, you know, them to make his own specific golf ball? Like, if he's not creating I mean, maybe it's something to do with the one-length clubs, and, you know, he's creating more speed out of them because a lot of the clubs are longer. The 8-9 wedge. You know, he's struggling with the distance control because they play so long.
Funny you mentioned one-length clubs, because when I watch Bryson, I completely forget he uses...
Yeah.
I completely forget one-length is a thing. It's just I never liked it. I never believed in it. It is what it is. The funny thing about the ball, like, Rory technically is not using the retail ball, so they're obviously making him something special.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, it'd be an interesting. What are you laughing at?
No, I thought you were going to say something else.
No, something in my head just twigged as you were talking at one length. It's just as relative to my own game.
I remember in 2016, maybe 17, in a one-bay little fitting studio, 1,000 square feet, with 4 people, 4 guys that didn't know if we were going to sink or swim at this point. They dropped off a set of one length.
I remember it.
And I grabbed the pitching wedge, and I had a ball in front of it, and I was like, no chance.
Yeah, it just doesn't
and I gave
right.
it back, and you're like, oh, just hit it. And I hit it, and I hit it okay, but I was just like, it's too goofy for me. Maybe that's my snake of the week.
So I was working, I had a lesson yesterday, and we're working on some stuff, right? Shocker. And we're working on something to try and like just change kind of how like my spine moves, etc. I'm trying not to kind of get my spine to elevate and then sort of move back down again. I can do it really well with a 7-iron. I can't really do it very well with a wedge. And I really struggle with low point. I struggle with contact.
Which wedge? Because Sunday we played, and I thought you hit your wedges lovely.
I did, no, so the 59 specifically, the shortest wedge. And I've had a little bit of trouble with that one and kind of getting a little bit kind of diggy on the leading edge with it. On mostly like that, call it 50, 60 yards, something like that half swing with it. But sometimes I just think to myself, like, I'm so comfortable with a 7-iron, it's off the charts. And like that Avoda company, like they do the progressive one where I think it's like single length until, is it 7 or 6? And then it goes up a little bit. Right. That actually does make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because I will say in the testing I'd done of that particular single length set that you're talking about, you brought me right back to that bay in Burlington. I remember on 2 specific days, the first day they were dropped off, I hit them all, I hit wedge to 4. And then the next day I came in and I hit 4 to wedge. And I went in reverse and my speeds were not the same. So even though the club is the same length, the mass, the head property, the head weight properties, the shaft, etc., is all the same, my speeds do fluctuate because of the intent. I'm never going to swing a pitching wedge like I swing a 4-iron.
No.
Because I'm not trying to hit it 215 yards. Right. And vice versa. So it's not, I just don't think it's as easy with that single length for the average player now.
Yeah, good point.
Bryson's obviously figured out for him, his whole thing, this golf ball, the clubs, how can I limit the variables? And if length is a variable and the ball curving is a variable and all these things, that's his mission right now, is to create equipment for him that eliminates variables.
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. I mean, the guy obviously, he's smart. He's got a team around him that's hopefully pretty smart and help him out. Again, the golf ball, maybe it's going to work. Who knows? I doubt it. I'm sure he'll come out with Bryson branded ball with someone because he was Bridgestone for a long time, right?
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you're right.
So who knows?
I think, if I don't know how willing, because he's not obviously tied to any company, I don't know how willing companies would be to kind of work with him, but I feel like within the number one ball in golf, within that company, like there'd be some stuff, like he seems to me like an AVX would be quite good, but he won't want the loss of ball speed. Like he would say, I would imagine I would over-compress an AVX. But as we know, AVX flies lower. It has a little bit less spin. That to me, like he's playing Left Dash Pro V1X.
Yeah.
And I've always used the basketball analogy of, the high compression golf ball and the low compression golf ball. If you bounce, an inflated basketball and a deflated basketball off the ground, the inflated one bounces way higher. Yeah. Right? That's the same as the way the ball comes off the club face. Why is he playing the firmest golf ball he can, which is clearly going to launch the highest? But he's trying to decouple the performance of the golf ball from the aspect of he wants the maximum ball speed, which you need the high compression for that, but he doesn't want it to rebound like that. He wants it to come out obviously flatter. He's trying to decouple the launch from the compression, which is obviously massively challenging.
Yeah, I mean, he's a high ball spinner, right? Like it's just
he is
something Now, I'm sure he's either going or has gone to Manchester Lane or TPI to test golf balls. I'm sure he's been to, or they're sending him stuff. Because like you said, at the end of the day, play the number one ball in golf, or at least test it and see the difference. If there's something in their lineup that they have that works, then you don't have to go through it'd be crazy if he starts to, throw money at an Avoda-style company to make him a ball that, at the end of the day, I don't care what anyone says, it's hard to compete with number one. when world number one is playing a Titleist golf ball and he's sponsored by TaylorMade.
Totally.
It's telling
good
you
point.
something, right?
It's a good point. It's a good point. And I think it's distracting, I'll be honest. I think trying to effectively engineer your own equipment, you know, it's massively distracting. Because look at them with this driver. He's been trying to get this LA Golf driver in the bag for how long? Those LA Golf irons in the bag for how long?
Yeah, months or a year.
Yeah, and he's still playing the crank stuff.
Yeah, I went through the online fitting thing for that driver just to see what it was all about. And I got halfway through the fit and I was very bored, so I said, forget it.
I saw it the other day in Wonders. I was over at Wonders' house and I seen that driver for the first time. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Enough about Bryson's balls. Scotty being liked and not loved. How do you feel about that? Yeah. Do you feel like that's true? He's generally liked and not loved?
Yeah, I think people will just be like, yeah, he's a great golfer and he's, you know, people love and want to support Rory and they're out there chanting Rory's name. But Scotty, I feel like, you know, even the UK or the Northern Irish fans were not really like supportive of the American winning the event. And I think they were just a little bored with Scotty winning it. Because he's, like you said, he's not Tiger. He's like, even when he made the putt, you know, he goes like that, right? I mean, if I made a putt to win the Open, I would have been doing, you know, the old donkey ride around the 18th green, right? Like, I know he could have 9-putted and still won the thing, but I don't know. Like when Tiger would fist pump, it was nuts. When, you know, Phil jumped, it was nuts. Like there was that energy. When Rory was on his knees crying, okay, that's it doesn't matter. There's energy. When Scotty's like, you know, waves to the crowd, takes his hat off and his receding hairline is showing, you're like, this is quite boring. I think he's not Tiger. He's got Tiger specs, but I think the way he acts is more like how Jack would have acted back in the day.
Yeah. No,
win the event, go home, have a cigarette, see the wife, the kids, back out next week, play an event. Like he's at that 3M, or he's not at the 3M Open this week, but he's like, you know, he's talking, he's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to go play next week or 2 weeks from now. And he's walking around a movie premiere with a claret jug in his pinky finger. And I'm like, I would be having a parade in Oakville right now if that happened. I wouldn't be at a movie premiere. Like, enjoy it. Get excited. It's like he's not excited.
He said that, didn't he?
I know.
You know, that was the big thing. It was at the press conference was him saying that, you know, it doesn't, you know, it's great for 2 minutes and then I'm over it. Like it's not obviously defining for him.
Yeah. Again, when you know, there was a Sky Sports interview the following week at New Orleans, and he asked Rory, last question, what bottle of wine did you open at Augusta? And obviously I find that interesting. So you hear what he opens, a really nice bottle, very expensive bottle of wine, probably more than one. And you're like, okay, that's him having a laugh. That's him having fun, relaxing, sitting in the green jacket, having a glass of wine. You know, and like you said, Scotty's like, well, yeah, you know, 2 minutes of, you know, happiness and that's it. And then he's, you know, in the locker room, then in a van and out and see you later. It's like,
it's very different.
Enjoy it. Like I'd be gone for 3 weeks if I won the Open.
You know, the thing is, like, he treats it like a job. I know it is his job, but he treats it like a job. Like it's, you know, it's kind of that thing where, you know, at the end of the week and your team has hit the target and it's the weekend and, you know, you're over it. You know, it's not really, whereas I remember when Tiger won the Grand Slam, he won the 2001 Masters to win the Tiger Slam, to hold them all at one time. And afterwards there was like a party and he disappeared off to the party, from the party, and fell asleep because he was so emotionally drained from what that he had put into that, what that physically took out of him. And it was like so much for him to hold. Like, you just can't ever see Scotty.
He fell asleep.
Well,
he went to bed.
Yeah, so, yeah.
He was even knackered.
Alone, honestly. So, like, it's just different. Like, Rory, like, he's got this hangover, this Augusta hangover that he can't get over.
Him and Shane are having a laugh. And, you know, I'm not saying Scotty doesn't have friends. You know, he's buddies with Sam Burns. They're both good players. They're both Texas boys. I'm sure he's got his group or whatever. But, yeah, it's...
definitely not, isn't it?
It's a different. I'll tell you, if I won a major championship, but again, I'm not in their shoes. Like I've never won a club event, let alone a PGA Tour event. So it's tough.
One of the things that I think it makes Scotty who he is he is very clear about what he wants, and he's equally as clear about what he doesn't want. And Jordan Spieth had a great piece that he said on Sunday about Scotty made a conscious decision years ago when he first came out on tour that he didn't enjoy the corporate stuff. And Jordan said, like we all do, right? Like him and Ricky and like those guys, AT&T. And,
they've sold themselves well.
Very well, and made a lot of money. And Ricky's kind of hedged his career off of, if I don't play well, I'm very corporately looked after. That type of stuff, which is great. But I think Scotty bet on himself from a standpoint of, I bet that I'm going to be a good enough golfer that I don't need to do that. So I'm never going to commit to those corporate engagements. And apparently that's kind of the way he's been. So he done it his first year on tour. And then after that he went, I don't enjoy this. It's not for me. And he's absolutely stayed away from the whole corporate environment.
I think it would be smart for him to get a love for like chasing the win again. Get on a Delta flight, row 44D, with a guy reclined in front of you, and then once they land, he'll love golf and he'll want to win a major because he'll never want to fly economy ever again.
Economy's no fun, is it?
No, it's never fun.
It's no fun. Yeah, I just find it fascinating, the whole Scotty thing. I mean, we were texting, obviously, the other day, and I always called him the Dirk Nowitzki of golf. Like, it's just not the same as Jordan. It's not the same as Kobe.
Yeah.
Right? And when you see like those two guys, like when Kobe takes over from Jordan, it feels good. Like to me, I'm not going to call Rory as meaningful as Kobe was, because Jordan 6 rings, Kobe got 5.
Yeah.
And like Rory has a long way to go to be just under the kind of performance and sort of achievements of Tiger, but it still feels similar when Rory's out there making eagles and getting the crowd going, and he can go in those bursts. It just doesn't feel the same. I actually saw, we talked about that on Saturday. Somebody on Monday posted about like, is Scotty the Tim Duncan of? Do you see that?
Tim Duncan, wow, there's golf. A name. Holy moly.
And it's just like, this guy just doesn't, like, he's quietly the best player in the game.
Yeah. I think one thing I talked to someone about on Monday was, a guy I was speaking to doesn't love Tiger. Doesn't like Tiger for who he is, but respects him as a golfer.
Name and shame.
Take a guess. And Pete Miller. And obviously I love Tiger Woods. I mean, I would faint if I met him. And he goes, and he was saying, because I said I missed Tiger just hitting shots in a major. Even if he was to shoot 78, I just miss him getting that 1-5 iron tight, or chipping it close, or making a putt, like just a couple shots to watch him hit. And, Pete Miller was saying, he goes,
who are we talking right here?
Brian Simpson.
Simpson not like...
No, he hates Tiger. Surprised we're friends. And he was like, well, that's what we have Rory for. He goes, in every major, Rory is the one who's going to play well, but also hit some phenomenal shots. And I'm like, yeah, I can't compare Rory to Tiger at all. Like the aura, the vibe of, I mean, yeah. I've been near Tiger once or twice at an event, Firestone, when they used to play WGC. You could smell the Gillette off the guy. And I'm getting nervous. I'm like, oh my God, goodness. I think his head... At a border. We're keeping that in. I don't care. But then you see some of these other guys, you're like, whatever, big deal. He's a good golfer.
Yeah.
Different aura with Tiger.
Different aura. Whole different.
Get him on the pod.
I know. We're going to talk about him in a little bit. He's in the conversation later in the pod here. So. April, May, June, July. That's our major season. It's done in sort of like one stretch. We've got nothing now. We're at that point, a few days after the Open, we have nothing until the second week in April.
Boring. I mean, I guess you have Ryder Cup. the FedEx Cup playoffs that we talked about is boring.
No interest.
It's nice that there's Scotty doesn't start at 10 under this year at East Lake. East Lake, cool golf course, bit boring. I don't know. It's just, we know what? They just need to bring back the WGC events. I used to love the WGC.
That WGC event.
You talked about it earlier, match play event.
I loved it.
Match play's fun. They'd have midway through the golf, they'd go to Steve Sands and he'd be like, oh, if he moves up here, he's like, it's more fun, it's more interesting. But the WGC events, even these boosted PGA Tour events, boring. Who cares?
Yeah.
Travelers Championship, boring. So I don't know. Yeah, bring the WGC events back, and there's 4 WGC events, 4 majors, and those WGC events, I felt like back in the day held not as much as important as a major, but they were like
great.
They were the other events that meant something to those guys.
Really, yeah. These like global fields. You get the players coming in from the Asian tour. You get them coming in from other places, and I loved those WGC events. I really did. I don't know if this is controversial or not. I just think that the PGA Tour have made a royal mess of the whole thing. I think the elevated tours, they need to, obviously, from an economic standpoint, strengthen their position because they were trying to fight off live. So they were obviously these elevated events, and they're trying to block everything else out that's not a PGA Tour event. And obviously the WGCs was, I think that was a Greg Norman concept back in the day.
Yeah.
So like they don't obviously benefit from these. These are elevated field events, and players leave the PGA Tour. It's holes in the PGA Tour schedule, whereas the PGA Tour wants as much time with their stars as it can to take advantage of it from a sponsorship standpoint. To me, it feels like the PGA Tour have just strangled the air out of a 12-month calendar.
Yeah. I think you have to make it more. I think the PGA Tour needs to be a little bit more international. Like go play like in the November. Well, I don't even know because it's different places in the world, but like go play more in South Africa. Show us, like I know the DP World Tour does it, but some of those events you watch it and you're like, they have, one sign out there for sponsorship, and you're like, this sucks. Like you can tell it's kind of embarrassing. Kind of like back in the day, the Canadian Open, you could tell it just felt cheap and chintzy. I don't know. You got to go around the world. Maybe make another 3 really good events to end the season. Like the wraparound season, they go to Napa, and he's still the golf course is garbage.
Honestly, all of those wraparound seasons,
garbage. Like the only good thing about going to Napa is they get to drink a bunch of wine.
And like, see, to be honest, I'm sure the guys love that.
They love it. They get to they go to the French
Island
Laundry
event,
and stuff like that. Like it's great, but. It's just like if the golf's boring, go to Mexico, go play Cabo or something. I know they do, but again, that golf event sucks as well.
I think I actually look forward to the back end of the year on the European Tour, DP World.
Yeah,
they go to South Africa. They play the Sun City event. They used to be I think it was Gary Player. Used to be called the Dimension Data something or other. It was at Sun City.
Dimension Data.
It was
wow.
All those years ago. It was at Sun City. There was that event. I just think you've got the Australian Tour when they play those incredible sandbelt courses in Australia. Like I'd love to see. I would love to see there be a back end of the year major, a 5th major. I don't think obviously the chat about the player. The players is the players. It's in its own little bubble. It doesn't need to be elevated to be a major because it's elevated in its own rights as the players. I would love to see like the worldwide major, so the one that goes to Japan, the one that goes to Korea, the one that goes to Australia, go to different places and make a 5th major out of it. I would love to see that.
Again, that's all WGC, but it doesn't have to be in the US, and it's the actual top 100 players or however you shorten the field. I don't know what you do, but I'm calling it a major to be the 5th major in line with the 4 that with so much history and they've been around forever. I think your first 25, 30 years of it doesn't get that much hype because it's just another new event. They tried to do it with the President's Cup. The President's Cup still doesn't have the love that the Ryder Cup has. Because it sucks. Like, it's boring.
Yeah, it's not competitive enough,
Yeah.
first and foremost. I think it's not competitive enough is the big issue with that one. I think there's good players in it, but it's just too one-sided.
Yeah. But another event, something to mix it up, make it interesting, where these guys, they want to add that to the schedule. They want to win it. Or make the Opens a thing, like the Scottish Open, the Irish Open, Canadian Open. You know what I mean? Like, have like the 4 Opens and try to play them within, a 2-month span, and maybe that's another Grand Slam, the Open Grand Slam. I don't know, something to make it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about match play. I think you could make a 5th major as a match play event. I really do. I think you could do something like that. Take it over to, like we said, like Australia.
Yeah.
Do it at Royal Melbourne. Something like that. They call it the Augusta of that part of the world, where the course is incredible. But I think because there's lineage to the old, what used to be called the Volvo match play at Wentworth.
Yeah.
That was a great event. Tiger used to come and play in it. O'Meara did. Ernie won it so many times. Monty won it many times. The top players in the world all played in it, and it was a fantastic event back in the day. And I kind of think that they could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. There needs to be a match play event. I think there needs to be a bigger event outside of the US.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to, the US, the PGA, the US Open, the Masters, it's always going to be in the US.
Mm-hmm.
The Open's always going to be in the British Isles. And,
For now.
Well, I think that 5th major, get that one to travel. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree. You get to see different parts of the world and different players and stuff. I agree. I mean, it needs to. You need to change it up or add something interesting, because when you watch Ryder Cup and it's most of it's match play, and these guys are hitting shots that they wouldn't normally hit, on a stroke play event.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, wow, that's exciting. It always makes the highlight reel. Well, you're going to see, if you could see that twice in a year, and maybe that match play event also is a great way for President Cup teams and the Ryder Cup teams to be like, okay, let's see these, who's potentially a captain's pick, rather than just going down a list going, okay, pick him. All of a sudden you have this guy that shoots lights out and you go, he's made the team.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
All right. Let's get into some snakes and ladders.
Oof.
Give me your first snake of the day. So, guys, just for those of you who maybe are not familiar with snakes and ladders, we're talking about things within the game that are trending up and trending down, right? Things that we think are on the slide or on the rise, as would be in the board game.
And some things we hate and some things we like.
Hey, gives Mikey a chance to mump his gums.
The snake of the week, net-only events. Net-only member guest events. Waste of time. Because when you have 2 pals that are decent players,
Right.
maybe a couple handicaps or whatever, and you shoot 3 under, nice, decent, no strokes, nice, decent, and then you get Tchotchke 1 and Tchotchke 2. This actually happened on Monday. This guy is a 9 handicap. Guess what the 9 handicap shot?
3 over?
Yeah, 70. I think he was 73. First of all, if you're a 9 handicap, maybe on a Sunday round out with the boys, that's fine. But in a thing where hopefully everything matters, I mean, you can give yourself your partner's gimmies here and there.
Yeah.
What 9 handicap shooting 73 in a member guest? And then there's a playoff, shootout, 9th hole. Guess who's up? Tchotchke 9 handicap. Guess how close he hits it? Hits it to 5 feet. That's not luck. That's a sandbagger. That's what that is. And then for the gross guys, I mean, what are you out there for?
Yeah.
It's got to be for a free cooler and a sleeve of balls my dog won't even use? Like, it's just a complete waste of time. It was a fun event, don't get me wrong, but these member guests need to have better formats. 9-hole matches, keeps people interested, have a net, have a gross. I don't know. Or let the gross guys, if you're under a 3 handicap, you scramble.
Okay. So here's some odds for you.
Oh, God.
Okay. So the chances of... So we'll talk about net differentials, right? So the chance of it being someone shooting their handicap, if you're a scratch to 5 handicap golfer, it's basically 1 in 5. Okay. You'll shoot what your handicap is. Every other handicap range is the same. It's basically 1 in 5, right? When it gets to 5 under your handicap, it's 1 for 5 under your handicap. A scratch to 5 handicap will shoot that 1 in every 379 rounds.
Exactly.
5 under their handicap, apparently. If you are in, what range do you want to talk about?
Give me somewhere where there's a 9 handicap in there.
Well, nine's a little too close to the... So when you get into the higher handicaps, like the teens, it goes from like 1 in every 379 to basically under half of that. If you go in the higher handicap ranges, it's actually 1 in every 72 rounds versus 1 in every 379 rounds. So we have a friend who's working on something, right, with this in terms of, statistics and making it fair. It is not fair in net club events for a scratch golfer to come up against a higher handicapper and compete. It's just not.
It's not. I mean, and the thing is, like, the guy I played with, he's a 1 point something. I'm a 1 point something, right? Lovely, great. I'm not going to go shoot 61. If I shot 61, we would not be recording this podcast. I'd be in Vegas doing the backstroke in the pool. I'm never going to shoot 61. And these guys, guy sat across from me at the dinner table. Yeah. That's the best round I've shot in 3 years. So, today?
When was the last time you shot it? The same member guest 3 years ago? Yeah, no, I know. Now, it's frustrating.
Again, in my mind, I was like, people are going to be like, play better. Yes, but again, we're not going to shoot 11, 12 under. Mm-hmm. The decanter is quite nice, so we etched on it. That would have been nice.
Is that what you got?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's a snake. That's actually a snake pit.
I think that format, the 1 round, isn't great either. I think what makes it fair, I love the 9-hole matches.
It has to be 9-hole matches.
Those little 9-hole matches, because you can compete in those. Like,
totally.
Obviously, Bakey and I won that member guest one, which was great.
You played in the Summit one, was 9-hole matches?
Yeah, which was, again, you can be...
You lost a window.
I lost one a window. I lost it at 25 grand that day. Oh, Jesus.
What an expensive member guest that is.
Ralphie asked me to play in the one day. I'm like, not a chance.
25 grand. That's so good.
Oh, Jesus.
The formats of some member guests have to be better.
9-hole matches.
There was no betting. There was no pari-mutuals. There was no Calcutta. There was nothing to put a $5 on team 1 it's just like, why bother?
Why bother?
And that's not towards this one golf course. I've played in many member guests, and they're
that to me is not a member guest. That's like come out and play for 5 hours, like an open event. I know. Like in Scotland, we would have like what's it called? In my home club, Hellsborough, I think it's called the Craig Orr. It's like you play with a partner, and it's like best net, right?
Right, like a member.
Like but it's actually a member guest.
You'd bring a guest.
Yeah, you bring your guest, but it's not to me a member guest and then like a 1 day are different. Yeah. Like a best net is different than a member guest. Like that 9-hole match format is so good, so fun, really is.
Yeah, it has to be 9-hole matches.
So pace of play is a snake for me this week. I thought pace of play at the Open was horrendous. Yeah, that first day. Like Rory and those guys were on the course to 9 p.m.
Mark Leishman was pulled up and he was like, we play our matches in 4.5 hours. I'm like, well, okay, sure, that's fine.
Was he talking about live?
Live, yeah.
4.5 hour 3-ball. When you've got people finding your golf ball for you, you're taking fewer shots. Why are they taking so long?
I don't know.
Like, if you're on tour and in a 3-ball, like I say, you hit the ball straighter than any golfers in the world. Obviously, the golf course is a little bit longer, but like, why is that not 4 hours? Like a 4-ball for us playing on Sunday with the boys is 4 hours, right? And that's that's on the end of you're just kind of enjoying yourself leisurely.
Yeah, we're out there having a laugh. You're
not pushing pace.
There was, again, video from last week. I don't know what player it was. They're standing in the middle of the fairway. It was like a replay from Thursday, and the video was 2 minutes and like 43 seconds, and they're discussing what shot to hit. Mm-hmm. If you've made it to Thursday, the Open, and you don't know what shot to hit after you've played 3 practice rounds, go home.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
I know.
Hit the ball. I might thin it. I might duff it, but pick it up, for goodness sakes. It's too slow. Too slow.
One more snake for me, player behaviour. I posted about it on Instagram after, and it wasn't about Sergio. Like when he broke his driver, and that kind of, I think it was Fraser Golf had posted it about like him, and I'm like, to me, I think player behaviour is escalating. The kind of poor behaviour.
They're getting away with it too much too. Like you don't know what see in tennis. Pal of mine smashed a racket. Yep. He was fined $5,000 for smashing his racket.
Yep. And they get fines, to be honest, they get fines too on the PGA Tour.
For sure, but I feel like no one really knows how much they're getting fined. And I think they should advertise it.
The problem is, though, they don't care. Like, what's $5,000? It's like me saying, okay, Mikey, it's like a swear jar.
Yeah.
Put your dollar in the swear jar.
That jar would be busted at the seams. Shane Lowry, this wasn't an equipment one. The guy's won there in 2019. He hits a shot and
I'm so off Shane Lowry, you can't even...
He says, F this, I hate this place. They have a mural of you down the street.
It's horrendous. Like,
see, if I was the mayor of that town, I would have repainted the mural.
I would have painted it. Anything but his coupon.
100%. Those are 2 good snakes. That's a heated snake.
Yeah. That's
be better.
Well, and I go... Because people were like, oh, it's just Sergio being Sergio. I'm like, I'm not talking about Sergio. Because Sergio, he snapped his driver, like, okay. Like, I believe what he said, he didn't really try to break his club. Yeah. Like, you can put it over your knee, you can do whatever. Like, and a friend of ours, Made for the Range, he messaged me, he's like, I done the exact same thing with Aventus like a couple of weeks ago. He's like, I just kind of swiped it and it broke in the exact same place. These shafts... I don't know,
I've never broken a shaft in my life.
You wish you could swing fast enough.
Never once. Never once.
It's because you've never missed a fairway in your life.
That's true. But still, honestly, like for the amount I've played, I've never, out of anger, I mean, there's times where I've wanted to break a wedge, but I've never, I mean, I can fix it. I could break wedges all day long.
Yeah.
I've never broken a wedge. I've tossed a couple clubs, but more against the bag.
Yeah.
You're good for a club toss.
I'm partial. In the bay.
You've gone better.
I have gone better. The, I don't
TBC
clubs is free. Clubs are free anymore. That's the problem. Unemployment's getting to me. I was talking about, to be honest, John Rahm, the way he behaves, does my head in. Tyrrell Hatton, can't stand the kid.
Yeah, he's a
can't stand him. Baby. Wyndham Clark at Oak, come on.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
You shouldn't be allowed back.
He should honestly get a ban from the tour. I'd ban Wyndham Clark. If you've not played Oakmont, and I said this to someone, they're like, everyone gets frustrated and stuff like that. If you have played Oakmont and you've been put the boots on in that locker room and you see the same wooden floor that Hogan has walked on, the metal spike marks are etched into the floor. That's a golf museum. Mm-hmm. That's an archive of golf.
He's literally gone in the Natural History Museum in Washington, D.C., and he smashed
up the Mona Lisa.
He smashed in the water
roof.
buffalo.
That's what it is.
Woolly mammoth.
No good.
Kick him out.
No good. I would have banned him. I just think that's a nonsense. Absolute nonsense. So my player behaviour one was not aimed directly at Sergio.
Yeah.
It's a trend of what we're seeing amongst players. And people say, there's more cameras, this and that. I don't know. Maybe. It just, to me, seems like our players, Mikey, this is a question, are players being raised with the same respect for the game that they used to? Like, the reason they called him Mr. Palmer, Mr. Nicklaus, is because the respect they had for the legends. No one's calling him Mr. McIlroy, Mr. Scheffler. No kid will say that. They'll stand there and go, Scotty, can I get your hat? Can I get your ball? The kids would have said, Mr. Palmer, can I have your ball? The respect level within this game has changed.
I think that's just respect in general.
I think
around society, the globe. I mean, my snake from last week, I'm a traditionalist. I like etiquette. When we were growing up, you walk in the clubhouse, the hat's off before you get in the clubhouse. Your shirt's tucked in. Yeah. You look presentable. I just think that some of the etiquette, the way the game's gone is too, I don't know, it's too hipster. I don't know what the term is, but I don't know.
You're right.
Don't get me going.
You don't know that kind of words. You're putting names on it.
It's not ideal. Everyone can be better. Everyone can smarten up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's chat about the ladders. Do you have anything?
No ladder.
Okay. A ladder for me was seeing Tiger fully suited and booted with the shoes on. Like, he looked like he could have played a round of golf last week. He had the golf shoes on. It wasn't the running shoes. Yeah. He looks good. He's walking the course with Charlie. He's not riding in the cart. He looks like, he's looking well. I don't mean that in the sense of he's going to be back. I just love that he looks like he's a bit fitter, a bit healthier. And in all honesty, Mikey, maybe the only way he stays that way is if he puts the clubs away. That's the sad part. But I loved seeing him. He had his Sunday red gear on. He had his. Did you see his little tour member thing on his belt? So good. Like, he's walking about whatever it was, US Junior or whatever, and he had his tour member clip on his belt. It was awesome.
I was reading a thing. I wonder if he's wants to play a little bit of senior golf. And the only reason I say that, he would be the only guy to win the US Junior, the US Am, the US Open, and the US Senior. If he was to win the US Senior, he'd be the only player.
Nicklaus not do that?
No. Nicklaus never won the US Junior.
Okay.
The US Junior's only 76 years old, and Jack's 80-something. Maybe he played in, I don't know. But, Tiger that would be a record that would be tough for anyone else to touch.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see him play again.
Oh,
There's two places, 150th at St. Andrews. He could play there, no problem. Hopefully the weather's not mince.
Yeah.
He can, if he can walk, which it looks like he can walk. I mean, he's not walking up massive hills.
Yeah.
Could he play still at Augusta? I think that's just a place he knows and loves, and it's easy for him. But I don't think you're going to go see him scramble around at Shinnecock that's, got hills like this, hills like that, and it's 8,000 yards.
I don't think so either. I just thought that was good.
Yeah.
Thought that was good.
Yeah.
One more ladder for me. I don't know if it's a ladder as such, but of last year, once we got through the majors, I think one event that elevated the 2024 season was the Olympic tournament.
Yeah,
that was a great event.
I didn't watch a single hole of the Olympic golf.
It was so good. It was obviously we were there, but it was phenomenal. And Scotty kind of had that record performance in the last day. Tommy, Rory was the one that looked like he was going to win it. There was people competing to be on that team. There was something about that event where you were competing to be the two men from Australia, the two men from, GB and I,
Something must have changed from Scotty from the Olympics to now, because I remember seeing photos of the medal ceremony, and he was bawling his eyes out. Anytime you win anything for your country, it obviously means something. And now he's saying at the Open, he's like, well, these events are just kind of ho-hum. And I'm like, bro, you just won you're a gold medalist. Yeah. That's you, Muhammad Ali, whoever these, Serena Williams, you're all Olympic champions. That should mean something. I'm telling you,
something about that last year, because Minwoo Lee and Jason Day, I remember seeing it on what's that, is it Full Swing, the documentary thing? Yeah. They were talking about, I've got to make the Olympic team, There was something about that last year. That really worked. Mm-hmm. They used to have, you probably won't remember, the Dunhill event that they used to have. It was like a 3-man event.
Not the Dunhill Links.
No, it was before the Dunhill event. It was a 3-man event, and it was I remember one year it was Tiger, Duval, and O'Meara. That was the US team.
Boys trip.
It was a big deal, and it was at St Andrews. And you were there for you play these matches, and Scotland had a team, Ireland had a team, England. It was South Africa had an unbelievable team. Australia always.
There
had a
used
great
to be
team.
called the World Cup of Golf, and a bunch of Canadians have won it. The trophy's at literally the Hall of Fame around the corner, and they don't play the event anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, bring it back.
Yeah, I've had an appreciation this week as I thought about last year. We had the Olympics, which kind of extended a meaningful part of the season. And again, I don't know, to your point of you never watched a second of it, and to me it really was incredible but maybe just because I was there. But I just know that that was in players' minds, that was like marked on the calendar with a big gold marker, right? Like, I have to be at that event.
Yeah.
There is nothing that has that same pull for the players in terms of I have to be at that event.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's interesting. All right, guys, that's an hour of waffle from us.
You gonna watch Happy Gilmore 2 this week?
No.
Didn't think so.
No.
I'm a Gilmore fan. I liked one.
No, do you know what? That actually, I will watch it, but I will need to watch the first one first. I've not watched the first one in...
Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched the first one. Will it be as iconic as one? No. I mean, I always find these sequels never as good. Other than Godfather 1 was great, Godfather 2 was really good.
Amazing. Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
You know what might make this one interesting, because we're in the era? The fact that, like, there's the amount of cameos from the players.
Tons of them. And, you know, your pal Page is in it.
Mm-hmm. Listen, you
Cody,
can get a married man in trouble saying stuff like that.
Cody McWilliams would love this. Bad Bunny's in it.
I was going to say, who's that?
But yeah, you got a bunch of the good players. Maybe is there a secret Tiger Woods cameo? Who knows?
Who knows? All right, next week, that's going to be a topic for us to discuss. Okay. Golf movies.
Oh, don't get me started. I love a golf movie.
Thank you for all of you who did chime in. We ended up having a lot more to talk about this week than we thought. Thank you for everyone who sent in messages on your Instagram, on my Instagram. We will do that again for next week, and we'll carve out a section for questions, topics. It was a lot to unwrap. Every week, the post-major championship debrief is going to be lengthy and, meaty.
The two of us can talk about a lot of nothing.
Talk a lot of Tom Kite, that's for sure. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this week. We enjoy the podcast. We really do, as you can probably tell.
Hopefully see episode 4.
Hopefully there's one. Hopefully we buck the trend. All right, guys. See you next week.